Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Sharon Weller coming to you live from Perth, Australia. It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's really, really a lovely afternoon. I'd just like to say hello to Stephen Cuffey and Lawrence Malaleke. Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. And I think we're going to have an interesting topic to this afternoon. Now, I'm up to number 49, and my topic is TBC, the billion coin, and merchants. Now, I know the other day I did a video on becoming a merchant, but I really wanted to follow up on this morning's live video by Brandy and how the conversation was going about being a merchant, what it takes to be to become a merchant, which is, you know, excuse me, it's just like running your own business, okay. But what it's like if you're going into your own business for the first time, oh, sorry. Okay. Asthma, dust. So, if you start a business up in Australia with the fiat currency, okay, first you've got to take a loan out with the banks, right, to start your business up. That's if you haven't got any capital behind you. Also, you've got to register the company name and all that. And last but not least, you need an accountant. So you've got the tax man, the bank, and whatever other fees on top of that. Those are the 3 easy ones, okay? Why I say easy is because that's just a given. No matter where, you know, no matter what you do. To start a company up in Australia, those are the 3 things that you've got to, the 3 processes that you've got to get through, even before you open the door. So, going back to this morning's conversation, with TBC, right? TBC, there is no bank because you are the banker. You own the coins in your web wallet. The tax man, well, there's no taxes involved yet, and hopefully ever. So there's no bank and no taxes. That's 2 of the biggest hurdles out of the way. But don't quote me on that. Okay. Now, the people that can are the people that are already trading as merchants with TBC. Now, there is no reason why there should be a bank involved if they're purely making sales with TBC. There is no reason why taxes are involved unless they invite the tax man in. Now that brings up for a very interesting topic, taxes and banks. I'm not sure. See, the only way I think that banks would be involved is if you're selling within a store. Okay, now I want to show you a picture, so I'm going to share my screen because it may be applicable to what I'm going to show you. Now, over in PNG, Papua New Guinea, President TBC Michael Elu of PNG. Now, they have been, it's been going totally awesome as to what's happening over in PNG. Okay, this was their first store, and look at the shelves behind the gentleman there. Look at the shelves. They are stocked full of merchandise, and we're talking food here, people. We're talking food as if you're going down to the corner store. Okay. Along the front row here, these are like 20 kg bags of rice. I'm guessing that's got rice on the front there. So this is what I mean. They're actually doing what I'm just saying. Okay. So I'll show you another picture. No, wrong way. Now, in this picture, what I wanted to show you, this lady here, I am sure, don't quote me on this, she is using a EPOS machine. So it's quite possible that she is trading half and half. I don't know. Or just paying cash. I'm not quite sure. But this is a TBC store where they goods for services paid by in TBC. And it's excellent. It's excellent. I mean, these are men shopping, not women. Or okay, this lady up here, and there we go. That's them done shopping for the day, and all paid for by TBC. So, and I want to show you another picture. Okay, let me see. I just hope I've got it. Here we go. Over in the Philippines, another store, and other TBC members trading as well. So, you know, this is possible. This is a do. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing. Now, it was really interesting in this morning's Randy's livey, because you can either watch him or watch the action that's going on in the chat room. But I have to do one or the other because otherwise I lose concentration. But what got me was I was more interested in what was said in the chat room. And by members of the TBC family, you know, that we can do this. TBC members can start their own business up. Now, a couple of weeks back, I went to a market day, okay? Now, it's not your ordinary markets where you just go down and you know you see everything, all right? I mean, what I'm saying is, now I don't know about yous, but in Auckland, New Zealand, back in the day, in the 80s, they used to have one of the biggest hippie markets in town. Okay, and A couple of weeks ago, we went to a market and it was like I had literally stepped back in time. The hippies that I saw there, that was around roughly my age, well, they still walk around in bare feet. They still tie their hair up in those bands, and they still wear the cloth belt around on their hips with the long tassels. And I said to my husband, I said, oh my God, it's like we stepped back in time. So what has that got to do with being a merchant? Well, my way of thinking was start small. Now, these are mum and dad's merchants, mum and dad sellers, okay? They're not shops. They have their own gazebos, erected, their tables, and their produce, whether they were selling homemade breads, it was usually a bagel or the cob, those kind of breads, or different varieties of honey, jams and chutneys, lots of organic food, lots. And then you have the little plant sales. You had another tent, what a guy can do with pellets, how he could make little seats, little tables made out of pellets. And I said to my husband, because what he wants to do is sell, he's got a green finger, and he just grows aloe vera, and our house is surrounded by aloe vera pot plants all over the place. And that's what he wants to sell. He said, I think I'm going to bring my aloe vera plants here and sell them. And I said, you erect the tent and sell your pot plants, your aloe vera plants. And I said, there's an angle that you can sell them at too. And I said, and I will put my own tent right next to you. And he said, well, what are you going to sell? And I went, TBC. I'll get all the advertising, put it in the little tent, and then advertise it that way. And I said, but what I really wanted to do was talk to all the other sellers that was there, the mums and dads, and see if they would come on board and join TBC. So, it was just an idea. Oh, okay. It was just an idea. I am so sorry, Stephen and Joe. I had been talking again and forgot to press play. But I am glad that you have joined me. So thank you, Joe and Stephen, for joining me this afternoon. And my topic is TBC and merchants. And I just realised that you're in the wrong one. I can't believe I've done that. I'm sorry, guys. Just trying to get the chat room up. But I'm going to keep talking while like I said, Yeah, definitely. That I was talking to my husband and I said to him, if he puts up his tent, you know, and sell his pot plants, and I said, then I will buy a stall next to you and I will advertise TBC. And then he said, why would you do that? And I said, because as merchants, we have to grow, whether it's out of a hippie market, it doesn't matter. Because I tell you something else, then I found out that an hour, I think it was an hour and a half drive south from that market was another market. And they do exactly the same thing. So these buyers, they go from market to market to market to market, but they're very selective at where they go and what market that they go to. And that is fine. That is fine. So when he said that, and I said, you know, this is how merchants are born. When you think about it, merchants are born out of starting a conversation, actually going to check over what they've got for sale and then starting a conversation. And since my husband is better at being, what do you call it? I call him the social butterfly. I am hopeless at starting a conversation unless I'm in a hurry and I want something. Otherwise, usually I'm in and out, get what I want, and then I leave. But believe it or not, doing live videos like this, I find very easy, only because I can't see your face. And I can't get back that my video that I was talking to you with. Oh, that is just so annoying. So I can't find you guys. Anyway, so oh, I've lost my train of thought. That's right. So apologies, because I'm working off two computers and I've lost the chat room somewhere. So hello to anybody else that has joined us. Sorry about not being able to see your name, but yeah, so we were talking about merchants. Okay, now I used to own my own business many years back. But back in the day, it was all about location. So if you didn't have the foot traffic, you were going to go under. And unfortunately, I went under. But while I was working, I made a lot of contacts with other merchants that was in the vicinity of my company. So it was like they would come to me, I would go to them. We would talk, share experiences, ideas. So that's one of the really good things about you know, growing a community of merchants. Back then, I didn't know I was going to be doing this today. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what their future is. I mean, when, what, 40 years ago, did I ever think I'd be sitting in front of a video talking to the world? No. Oh, heck no. But, you know, it taught me things back when I owned my own business. It taught me things. One, try not to be afraid of talking to people, regardless. Two, get over that hurdle of you know, when you're when you're talking to other people and you're all you're talking about experiences, you're sharing ideas. So again, I had to get over that, sharing ideas, experiences, the pitfalls of owning your own business, but then you get that anywhere. Okay, the pitfalls, that is, you just try to stay away, but bringing that knowledge forward to today, like I said, when I was at the market and just looking around, I thought this would be a good starting place to grow TBC and try and utilise it through these other mums and dads in the wider community. Maybe not dependent on the TBC community itself. Try and establish more merchants that are already selling wares and non-TBC members, because the trick, not the trick, but the idea is to bring them on board. All they have to do is start with the 50-50 and then totally embrace TBC. Anyway, that's my idea of thinking. But so when I put that idea past my husband, he was all for it, because right now he's embracing, he's a plumber by trade, so plumbers don't, they think they're God sometimes, but they're not. They just fix leaky taps and toilets. But he talks to other tradies. Now, other tradesmen. And what he's found out, the younger the tradesperson, they tend to look at cryptocurrency, which is something he was totally surprised with. So he listens to me speaking about TBC, he hears me, I include him on all my posts on Facebook, and then he hears me doing the broadcasts. So then when they're having their lunch breaks, you know, the boys, as they do, guys chat, he tells them about this, they say, what is it? Is it like Bitcoin? And he said, yes, but no. Yes, it's a partial currency, cryptocurrency, but no, it will never get on the stock exchange. And then they ask him, well, how's it going to make its money? And then he said, well, they've got a community, you have to join the membership. And he says, but theirs is based on gold. A grain of gold. Now, guys don't think, what is a grain? They don't know how big a grain is. We're talking about tradesmen, people who build houses, so that they have no idea what a grain of gold is. All they can see in their mind is a bar of gold. But we already know the value of one TBC coin, and that exceeds the value of a bar of gold. So I think, because I know that not this week, got the grandkids coming over, so we're on nanny duties and papa duties this weekend. But next weekend, we're going back to that market and we're going to be setting up stalls. So we will, you know, reach out to the other stall holders, because there's about, I think, 100 of them. Yeah, there was pretty close to 100. Mind you, we got there late, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So these, little markets, they're open. They're up and running by 7 a.m. in the morning. So we're like 5 hours missed the boat. But it was packed even then. And the people, that swarmed to these markets, especially the children. Especially the children. But it was quite funny, well, hard case really, because for a hippie markets, they had, those big chunky cushions that you just throw on the floor, and then you go beanie bags, beanie chairs. There was beanie chairs everywhere. There was mats everywhere, so people could, if they're having a nibble, they could sit down and have it. There was tables and chairs just set up for people to sit down at if they wanted to sit at tables and chairs. But, we're talking about markets here, so it's nothing flash, but it was comfortable. And when I said to my husband, we're going back there, because I already saw what our little gazebos are going to look like, set up. His with all his plants and prices and everything, and what they're good for. Like I said, he's only got one plant, so he can get away with it, and that's the aloe vera plant. And mine advertising TBC. Now, I already know, and get some big, really big prints printed up. So, and then I said to my husband, right, we're going to swap roles during the day, because he's one of those guys that, is like, he's really good with words, and he attracts a lot of people, their attention. So I think, we can do this being a merchant. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, unless we have really big businessmen in the community that are set up. I mean, really big businessmen. And there's nothing wrong about that too. But it may be a little slow going, but I can see we're going to, goods for services, it's going to grow. We have the economy, and that's a TBC coin. We definitely got a good start on the community, and that's the 3+ million people. So, and everybody are sitting on a lot of coins. Now, Asia, you've got Papua New Guinea, Philippines, and Thailand has come on board. They're all starting to showcase their goods. Okay, then you got Nigeria, that is right into merchandising as well. And you've got dots in the US that are selling merchandising as well. Now, I also know New Zealand is doing it too. They've got dots all around the country. Unfortunately, not the same for Australia. For a large country and 24 million, no, we don't have a big community. So the challenge is to keep spreading the word of TBC throughout the Australian community. But anyway, that was my thoughts on being a merchant, and that is going to happen pretty soon. So as soon as we get our gazebos up and running, I'm going to take pictures and show you what we are going to be looking like. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed my live broadcast today. It was a bit higgledy-pickledy, and totally sorry about me losing the chat room there. But same time again tomorrow. Hang on a minute. I might have to pass on tomorrow. So if you see my link in there, I'm there because I've got the grandkids there tomorrow. And they're so noisy. So this is Sharon Weller saying bye for now. Thank you.